Alright, in this video we're checking out the Eachine RD200 FPV watch. Comes in this blue color as you see here, and also available in white. And let me just show you that one. So, kind of, they're not too glossy. Pretty nice colors, though I do wish it did come in black instead of white like the previous generation watches here. I'll show you those in comparison here in a second. But the blue color is not too bad. And I did remove the watch bands here because for my purposes I don't really wear this on my wrist. This FPV watch is very similar to the previous ones. 2-inch screens, as you can see here, but a lot more features, and I'll explain the differences here. That's the linear antenna that pops out here and can stick out like that, and the reception is remarkably good, just like the other watches. For some reason these little watches seem to have really good reception. 2-inch LCD screen. It says that the resolution is like 960 by 240, but I think it's more like 320 by 240. It's a 4:3 aspect ratio screen. It seems pretty similar to the previous generation watches, but the panel is a little bit different, so the way the colors look is a little bit different, but the resolution seems to be about the same as the other ones. 48 channel receiver on this one, 3-button operation here on the side, and this one comes with a DVR. The files are recorded in 640 by 480. Bit rate's about 16 megabits, but it's not a constant bit rate. It's a variable bit rate video file. So it's a higher bit rate than what the Fat Shark DVR records, but instead of a constant bit rate, it's a variable bit rate. So you'll need to recode the files if you're doing any kind of like video processing where you're trying to sync it up with something else. I've discovered that when I was using these files earlier. You have a micro USB port here for charging. They do give you a couple of cables here, so you get one USB cable here for charging. The battery takes about 2 hours to charge, and then the battery lasts about an hour. Also comes with another cable here, micro USB, to video in. So it will do video in, so you can plug a video source in here, and then the AVN will turn on once it detects a video source, and then you can see the video from the video in. Okay, so let me demonstrate that really quick here. Just got the cable plugged into an AV cable, and this is plugged into this camera. This is a Cadex Ratel. That's the video source, and right now it's just using the receiver, so you get static. And we'll go ahead and plug this in. And then you can see it automatically switches to AVN, and you can see the camera. So you could use this as a way to quickly test your cameras to see if they're working or whatnot. And it's a pretty good image. I mean, it's a little on the bright side, but you can adjust those settings here. I'll show you that here in a second. But you can see I can clearly make everything out. Whether or not you could fly through this, and I know people are going to ask me about that, but not sure about that. But you definitely good enough for using as a passenger or standby, or someone that wants to just watch you fly instead of actually flying through the screen itself. Okay, so now I have the same camera here. I just got plugged into a video transmitter now, and we're going to show you the screen picture compared to the other watches, which obviously don't have video in. You can see there's an OSD that's not visible here. It times out after a certain period of time, which you can adjust. You can bring up the OSD by pressing any of the buttons, I believe, just by tapping. It'll bring up the OSD, and it'll disappear after the time up here. I think I've it set to 5 seconds currently. If you want to bring up the menu, you long press the channel button. So this is power button, channel button, and band button here. Obviously, you change the bands by pressing, we tap the button, brings up the OSD, and then you can press each button here and they'll switch the bands. You see it goes from F, R, L, A, B, E, the back def, so that's going to be 48 channels total, or 6 bands, and then you can, when the OSD is up, you can change the channels one at a time, and it changes it really quick, which I like about this watch. You can also see on the OSD here, there's the band, channel, and also the frequency as well, and then that shows you the storage available on the micro SD card, and you have your battery level here, and then this shows your RSSI in the upper left hand corner. Actually, I think the RSSI is next to the battery icon right there in the upper right hand corner. Alright, so just a quick comparison of the screens. This is the sort of the first generation watches here. The channel and bands are on this little LED in the front. It's only 4 bands here, so it's not, you don't get the race band in this one, which is kind of a bummer. And these come out in different brands. I think this is from G-Tang or Verhoek. There's also ones from Boscam. A whole bunch of other different sellers sell this one. Still for sale. I think it's about $5–10 less than the E-Sheen on Amazon, but obviously, DVR and a race band. Obviously, it's got a lot of features that are missing. But you can see here, just a quick comparison of the image, how the blacks are darker on the screen and then a little bit washed out on the E-Sheen panel. So it just looks like it's kind of maybe a little bit too bright, but you can adjust that. I'll show you that here in a second. And this is the top sky. And you can see the colors look better on the top sky thing, and then not as washed out. This you can see kind of matches the green color here, but on the E-Sheen comes out kind of bluish almost. Anyway, so to bring up the menu to change the settings, you're going to press and hold this channel button, and then navigation is basically the channel button is the down button, the band button is the up button, and the power button will select. And you can see here, you can say, let's adjust maybe the brightness, and we'll click that, and we'll bring the brightness down, let's say to 40, play around with this a little bit here. Let's increase the contrast, and I'll say 60, and perhaps increase the saturation to 60, and play around with the hue. Let me try and make that 60 as well. So, and here's where you can change the timeout: 5 seconds, 3, off, 30 seconds. I like to have 5. I don't like the OSD on there, so but I do want to see it once in a while. You can format the SD card here as well, or you can load the defaults here as well. Playback is the DVR. I'll show you that here in a second. And then this menu will time out after about 5 seconds. But let's just see what the image looks like with these new settings. Not a whole lot better. Just has a kind of a gray blue kind of a tinge. Looks like the menu doesn't time out actually, so you have to press the button and then it'll go away. But yeah, the colors just don't look as good on the E-Sheen versus the top sky panel. Yeah, but compared to the Verhoek here or the Boscam, this it does look a little bit brighter. But I think Top Sky definitely looks the best out of the 3 panels. Okay, so to bring up the DVR and get it to record, bring up the OSD, and press any button here, and then just tap the power button, and you can see the timer there going for the DVR, and the OSD disappears, but you can bring it back up here. You can see it's recording, 10 seconds. And then to stop the recording, you bring up the OSD again, and then tap the power button, and that'll stop the recording. And then if you want to look at your recordings that are stored in the micro SD card, you're going to long press the channel button, brings up the menu, you're going to select Playback, and this brings up the DVR Playback menu, and then the files are stored there. That's file 12. I think the up button will go backwards, so it's file 11, this is file 10, etc. So let's say if we want to play this file here, just select it and it'll start playing. If you want to speed it up, I think you hit the up button. So the up button actually goes backwards. You tap the play button or the power button, that'll go back to play. To pause, you press the power button, basically this select button here. The down button should, when you're in the play mode, the down button should go to 2x speed, 4x speed, 8x speed, and then it goes back to 2x speed here. It just cycles between those three. And then to go back to regular play speed, just tap the select button to the power button. And then you can pause. And if you want to go backwards, it has to be in play mode, backwards. You go back at 8x speed, then play again, etc. And you can see the timer there of the file shows on the screen as well. So this is a very, it's pretty intuitive. Actually, I didn't even have to read the manual to figure this out. It's actually pretty simple operation, but the fact that you have 3 buttons here does make this pretty easy to use. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit out of this, so you can pause that, and then long press the channel button. That'll exit out back into the receiver mode. That's pretty much it. That covers all of the functions of the watch. And if there's a part that I wanted to mention that I just showed up recently, if you want to like hook this up to your transmitter, like I think there's a Tyrannus X9D and also X-Lite. I think there's one other one. I'll put a link down in the description to it. But basically, it'll let you attach it to your transmitter, and then there's a little sunshade, so you can use it to, you know, basically this is really useful for those situations where you don't want to take your goggles or put your goggles on to check something. You just want to take a quick look at your feed, maybe change some settings real quick before you actually put your goggles on. This is what this is good for. And plus, people that are, you know, they want to look at your FPV feed, they're maybe standing next to you but don't have goggles, they can watch this and see your flight. And as you can see from the playback, it's very smooth. The video quality is pretty good. I mean, obviously the color is a little off, and not quite exactly right, but you know, from the, you can tell from the playback for the video previously that it's all right. It's not great, but it's decent. Okay, so if you made it to this part of the video, I want to let you guys know that I'm going to be giving away the white version of the watch here. Not going to be using that, so they're not going to be in this video. In all the giveaways I had to moderate the comments. I don't want like a billion comments on my phone, so it's going to be in a separate video a little bit later this month, so you want to make sure your notifications are turned on so you don't miss that. And yeah, I'm gonna keep the window a little bit shorter so that the people that have their notifications on have the best chance of getting this. And the rules and everything for that will be in that video. So basically, I'll have maybe like have the window open for like a day or two, and then I'll close the window for entering the giveaway for this watch, and then I'll select a winner pretty quickly after that. Anyway, so that's going to do it for this video. If you guys have any questions about this watch, I'll put a link down in the description for this. And by the way, if you go to the link, the price currently on promotion through the 16th is cheaper in the US store versus the Chinese store for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. It's like $40, $39.99 in the US store and like $43 in the Chinese store. And apparently now they're both on promotion, so none of the coupon codes will work. So keep that in mind. But yeah, 40 bucks is not too bad. I think like even this old one here on Amazon is going for at least that much, if not more. So I think that the newer one with the DVR and everything and all the features, definitely better than the older version for sure. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.